This is Sanja.
Yo, check it out. It's my girl Sanja.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, Sanja?
Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Random-ish with Sanja. How you doing? I am doing well. Oh, man. I have been on the grind. You have no idea. Driving like nobody's freaking business. Happy to say that I think Uber is paying us correctly again. I will be happy when I can go back to just DJing, doing this and all this other kind of good stuff. Although, you know what? I say that, but every day that I do Uber, I keep meeting people that I feel like that keeps making me say, okay, well, maybe I am supposed to be doing this right now, because I keep meeting relevant people for what I'm doing, you know, also just getting ideas of what people are talking about, what people are interested in, what's on people's minds, you know, gives me ideas for the podcast and everything. So I'm just going to continue to enjoy it until the next thing develops. And I'm looking forward to that as well. Yesterday. Yesterday was one of those days. Started out like rainy, cloudy, and then at the end of the day, the clouds started to break. The sun peeked through right before the end of the night. And it reminded me of what I'm going through. I think what every entrepreneur is going through when you have a startup company or when you're in your first 5 years of business. It's like, first it's sunny days. You're like, oh, this is so great. I love working for myself. And then like things start to happen and you're like, oh my God, I'm crazy. You know what I mean? And the storm comes, and then right at the end, it starts making sense again. And you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Yeah. Listen, I can get lessons from anything. All right. Okay. There's a lot of preachers in the family. I could have been one, but I'm too wild and crazy for all that. So, you know, actually, oh, let's not go there. I'm wild and crazy and I'm open about it. How about that? So, oh man, speaking of being open about things, this week we heard from the Duggar family about being open. Well, actually, I think her last name is Dillard, but Jill, the daughter of the Duggars, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, I got a lot to say about women this week. I feel like I too have gone through some things, and I'm kind of like, you know, there's a lot of conversation about women and women's bodies and, you know, the Planned Parenthood. It's popping up on my Facebook feed and Instagram feed, support women. And I have to say that I am, although I love life, I am pro-choice. I do think that everybody has the right to choose. If God has given us free will, then who are you to tell people what to do? Because the Creator gave people free will. Like, you know what I'm saying? So where do I start? Okay, so a couple of things I saw online before we get into the Duggars, because some of these things I agree with her. So I'm going to try to wrap this whole thing up together, so that, because honey child, boo boo, I got so much to say on this. This podcast could be for about a good 2-3 hours, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to try to keep all my thoughts together. All right. First things first. So I read online, I saw a meme, a quote by Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett, if you guys don't know, Berkshire Hathaway dude is like a ridiculously smart investor. He's made billions, and he's a part of Jordan Furniture that is here in New Haven, Connecticut. Hey, I'm going to meet him one day, and yes, we're going to have conversations about some money. I'm going to put that out there. We're going to have some conversations about some money. Anyway, so Warren Buffett there's a quote up there. Now, hopefully it is actually from Warren Buffett, because another thing we're going to get into about the deep fake videos, people could be making misquotes about memes, but it's quoted as saying, women are the slaves of the world, and wait till they find out, you know. Honey, I think we are beginning to find out. I think women are beginning to realize we have so much to do. It's ridiculous, you know. Don't get me wrong. I love being a woman. I do feel like sometimes I might, I think I've said before, you know, I can identify also as a gay man in a woman's body. because I'm not overly feminine, and I do like some weird stuff. So, well, it's not weird. It ain't weird. But to each its own. Anyway, I know I'm getting all. Let's try not to go down that route, because we'll turn the show into a completely different topic. Anyways, but I do recognize that there are a lot of very feminine females out there who, play the gender role to the T. And I think that the Duggar daughter is one of them. Wait, let's call her by her married name. I think it's Dylan. Yeah, so yeah, the Dillard family. Okay, so she has a blog, and she came out with about like 36 different things that women should do to please their husbands. Now, to keep it in context, she's having like a book club. They were having a meeting, her little group, and they're talking about things that you could do to please your husband. And I also know the scriptures very well. So the Psalms 31 women, don't get me wrong. Women run the world, and I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of let's acting like we don't. You know what I mean? Because we do. Like, are you serious? We're raising children. We're taking care of the men. We're now we're out in business. We're making decisions. Like, we're trying to show you, boo, don't be trying to stick baby in no corner. What's wrong with you? So I'm just saying. And now we've got all of these issues going on. So with the telling us what we could do, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, Alyssa Milano was under huge attack from her saying that she was going to go on a sex strike because of if we can't make our own decisions with our bodies, well, then I'm not having sex then. Girl, I can't really do that. I got some needs. You know what I mean? But I totally agree with, this is my body, and how you telling me what I'm gonna do? Are you gonna pay for the bills? Are you gonna come? Are you gonna come help me out? Are you gonna come help me raise this child? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on here? And I do think it's crazy that we, people try to say for the abortions, trying to go with the extreme. Well, what if the woman has been raped, and what if it's incest, and what if it's listen. Stop trying to argue for the extremes. Let's argue for the reality. Reality is there's a ton of men out here who've got a whole bunch of little families, or they got a whole bunch of situations going on, and they doing too dang much. Where's our blame for the man? He's the one that needs to pull out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, a woman could be all about, listen, don't you do it. And then he's like, oops, I couldn't help myself. Now she's stuck, and she has to have his kid. Are you kidding me? Listen, I do believe that we want to, of course, continue to expand, and we want human beings to be here, so we need to have and continue to procreate. I mean, hello, right? We are a species. We want to continue to exist, so we need to keep making more of us. However, I was watching a TV show the other day, and it was from, I don't even know, like maybe 15, 20 years ago, something like that. It wasn't that old. And they were saying, I don't know, there's like 5.5 billion people on the planet. And I was like, hot damn. It hasn't even been that long, and now there's like 7 billion people on this planet. Whoa. And having a discussion with an Uber rider, we were talking about how China has like 1 billion and India has like 1 billion too. So we have two countries that have 1 billion people in it alone. And we know that China, went to the extremes. Like, they were like, yo, we got a little too much going on, a little freaky deaky going on up in here. You guys need to only have one kid. And then they effed up by saying, okay, we're going to keep the boys and get rid of the girls. And so now they've got a whole generation of boys that are going to like not have mates, or actually it's going to be boys that are going to be having like, it's going to be, what's going to happen is there's going to be some women, if these Chinese men don't marry outside of their nationality, it's going to be some Chinese women with like 3-4 husbands. We're going to have a flip. We're going to have a flip and a reversal finally, because there's guys out there who got like 3-4 wives. I'm just saying, again, that could be a whole nother show topic, but we won't go there. So I do think that we need to take some kind of measures or something like that as far as like population control. Because if you get with the conspiracy theory people, basically they letting you have these babies, but they gonna somehow kill off 1/3 of the world somehow. So, and that's a scary thought. That's a scary ass thought, please don't let that be true. But it's, we do have to do something. And I just find it interesting that people, we've got these conservatives that are arguing for pro-life. But again, are you going to help these women who are having issues, who are having struggles? And why does it have to be an extreme that she had to have been raped? Why can't it just be her choice? She doesn't want to be a 3rd or 4th or 5th baby mama to somebody. Maybe she doesn't want to be raising a child by herself. Just because 2 people are having sex and a child is created doesn't mean that these 2 people are in love. Now, I will say this. I am learning more and more with my own experience in life that when it comes to things in life, it's not so much that we can really, or okay, let me leave it for me, can judge things as being good or bad, because I'm beginning to see that it's all one. Time isn't linear. It's all happening. It's all one. And depending on your perspective, and since you're not in that person's shoes, you don't know what their perspective is. Things look different on the outside than what's going on the inside with that person. This is why it's in the scriptures. You cannot judge. The only person who could judge a man's heart is God, because you don't know what that person is facing or what that person is going through. So from an outside view, you might be making judgments about, ooh, they wrong. And you don't even know that their inner being, their inner God, their inner goddess is the one who told them, yo, go do that. It's going to make you feel better. There's a lot of things going on that we do not understand. But you would understand if you did a little bit of study. That's in the scriptures too. Study and show yourself to be true. Okay. So I find it very interesting that there are states that are really, banning these things when there's a population problem, when there's financial issues, when there are health issues. Let these women do what they decide and feel is best for them, because you're not helping them pay their bills. You, in fact, still want them to pay more, and so I just think that all of these arguments for pro-life and pro-choice, it's so political, and it's not even taking the people that you are quote unquote arguing for or trying to protect into consideration. George Carlin, comedian, hilarious, said it best. They're pretending like they give a damn about these babies, but it's, hey, as long as you're a fetus, pro-life, we're all about you. Soon as you get born, we don't give a damn about you. Give us some money. So I think that it's very interesting, and I almost feel like it's people's biases, and it's not even a bias because of what you might think is right or wrong or your situation. It's more of a bias because you type emotions out of people. I just feel like, given us free will, then our politicians need to kind of go in alignment with what our forefathers have, fought for, which was the right to pursue happiness, and that is going to be an individual thing. We can't be telling people, this is right or wrong. Another thing that I don't understand, so you argue about pro-life, but yet we still, and I do not think that guns should be taken away, but you don't make it that hard for people to get guns. You know what I mean? So it kind of, the exact same people who are like, you better not have an abortion, are like, go get a gun and kill a motherfucker if you have to. You know? So I wish you could see some of the faces that I am making at you right now. You don't really make very much sense. I'm just saying. So I do think that what our people need to be doing, our politicians need to be really serving us. And instead of, so much trying to make it about you just trying to get votes or get people to agree with you or whatnot, I really do think that it really needs to be more about, what is best for the individual, because that's technically what we're supposed to be doing, right? Now, I do know that there's also an argument, I think, what is it, Miss USA or somebody came out and said, that her family wanted to have an abortion and she's glad that, that her mother didn't. I will also say as well that I found out that my mom told me that my dad wanted her to have an abortion, and it didn't cross her mind. She didn't. I have had an abortion. I will say this, okay? Yes, I am glad that my mom did have me. I personally believe that it was my intention to be here. This is going to go over some people's heads, but this is just my personal opinion after studying the laws and seeing how people are and everything. I do think that we do have consciousness has intentions before it comes. And I do think consciousness that gets created, intention of actually coming forth and being a person here on this planet. The reason that I say that, and I'm going to use a scripture, I know some people are going to be pissed at me right now, but there is a part where Jesus says that, enough fish have been created for fish that will be eaten. There are fish that will stay in the sea. There are fish that will just die. There are fish for procreation. There's enough. Our Creator has made enough. There is plenty. There's plenty to keep going. There's plenty that will be here and will go fast. There is enough. We are not the Creator. Creator lives inside us. So there's just things that we are not going to understand. But plenty. There is an abundance of, obviously, there's an abundance of life going on. And I do think that it is a co-creation between the consciousness that is coming in and the consciousness that is already in existence. And I do think that with women who do have abortions, there is already an internal agreement that I ain't trying to come up in this mug. I ain't trying to come all the way up in his mug. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. I will take that bitch is crazy. I'll take that. I will take that. But that is just something that I truly do believe, because my daughter, even though I was in a horrible situation with her, there was not a question, never even a thought. So that's the reason why I kind of feel like I just really feel like there's a lot more entanglement. There's a lot more inner dialogue. There's a lot more telepathy going on than we have any idea. And with that being said, girl, we got a little too happy. We about to start talking to Tim about the Dillards. Let me take a little coffee break. Let me take a little, okay. And welcome back to Random-ish with Sanja. Okay, so listen, we're going to leave it at that I just feel like we definitely need to have some more of our Congress people and senators who are definitely supporting pro-choice to be supported. Again, I'm seeing all kinds of things popping up on my Instagram feed and my Facebook. So I do suggest that if you also feel that women have the right to choose what to do with their bodies, that you do definitely write in, donate, and support some of these female senators that are standing up for women. It's just, I don't know. I just think that it's just way ridiculous that we are constantly picking at women and trying to stop women's choices instead of letting things be or looking at things realistically. Men are in this too. I will say this, because we don't want to get too serious. The best Mother's Day cake I saw, okay? It said, "Sorry that my pullout game sucked." Enough said. Moving on. I just had a visual. Oh my God. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys or talk about is the Dylan thing, because we're all about the women right now. Now, the Dillard family. So I saw this, and it's funny because people are going in on this girl right now. What? Because some of these things I'm like, girl. So the title of the blog is "More Than Sex: How to Love Your Husband." And again, I do think it's very, very beautiful that you are attempting to help women out. And I will say this, their family not really getting divorced, right? Like they got tons of kids. So, I'm sure that there is something to some of the things that she's saying here. I'm not a married woman, so I'm not gonna sit up here and say, bitch, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because again, some of them I do agree with, but like I'm just saying, well, hopefully, if you're involved with somebody, your guys' sexual chemistry is great and your like needs are great. So hopefully you're not married to a man who's like wants to do it all the damn time and you're like, good, honey, I'm good with once a week, or once a month. Ooh, honey, I hope you're not having sex just once a month. But anyway, I'm just saying. So I do think it's important that you probably should at least be compatible in that area, because I'll be, ooh, honey. See, for me, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be like, well, you going how to love Sonja. You better exercise, take care of yourself, have good circulation, because when she want it. And you better not tell her no. Be open about everything. Past, present, and future. See, we're going to talk about that on another episode when I bring Chanel back, talking about how like men are a little bit more emotional and everything like that. So do be open, but girl, I don't know that you need to be telling him everything about your past. That's how you're going to make somebody, in my opinion, because we should be growing. So if you have a crazy past, you might like dibble and dabble in it a little bit, but in my opinion, it's way more about the present. Like sometimes I think that's how we fuck up our relationships, is by talking about the past, because then a person thinks that that's where you are. And if you are a person of growth and change, then who you were yesterday might not be who you are today. I mean, your core might be the same, but like, your behaviors and things like that, they do change. So I totally do not agree with that. Tell your spouse when they hurt you or when you have a problem with something and be quick to forgive. Okay, girl, that's good. Pray and fast for your husband. We could pray for him. Fasting for him. You can't create for somebody else, girl. You cannot create for somebody else. So you might as well eat your food and pray for your man. I'm just look for ways to encourage him. Awesome. Try to get in 20 minutes a day talking. Awesome. Look nice for him. Awesome. How about look nice for yourself? And as a bonus, you look nice for him. Okay? Okay. Go to bed fresh. Bitch. This bitch right here. She says it's easy to just take a shower in the morning. She's like, you should take a shower at night, and then you need to put on some lotion so you can smell good for your man when you go into bed. Listen, honey, that's okay. And we could do that on the nights that we finna get it in. But on the nights that I done worked 14 hours, okay, and I'm tired, and I still got makeup on my face, let's just be real. Let's just be real. I will go to sleep with makeup on my face, okay? And I wish you would say something. Come on now. Don't gossip, call names, even if you're joking. Totally agree with that. I'm telling you, once you start that name calling stuff, as soon as y'all get mad, you finna hear some shit, girl. You finna hear some shit. Don't do it. Don't start that name calling. Never allow your husband to think you're his mother. Girl, 100%. 100%. That's how he starts cheating on you. Do not let him think that you are his mother. Don't take care of him like that, girl. Don't you do that. Now this one, girl, be careful not to develop an entitlement mindset. I deserve you, or overlook things that he does because that's something that a good husband's supposed to do. We're going to leave that alone. Be a good listener. Don't be disrespectful. All of these things I think are really kind of cute. Don't let the sun go down without making things right. Don't let habits become problems. Girl, I don't know about that. Let him know that you miss him and that you can't wait to see him when he gets home. I think that that's great, but you don't need to be no dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that though. I've actually heard that before. When they come home, the dog is more excited to see them than their wives, or if they have small children, then small children will usually like run, daddy. I'm really excited. So I do agree with that at least acknowledge him, and not in a I know I've done that before. Oh, you're home. But that's a bad relationship. You see, that's why I'm not in that relationship, right? Don't answer the phone first little bit together in the evening. Yes, she did. She said when he come home, don't answer the phone. Now, I like this one. Be confident about your body. And don't let your children control the house. Listen, ladies, for those of you who are letting your children sleep with you, stop that. Don't let your children sleep with you. Stop that. Just stop that. Don't do that. Okay. Yeah, you hear all the things going off in the background saying, yeah, girl. That's all the angels and the beings and the guys that are with me saying, yeah, girl, tell them. Let your children sleep in their own bed. Okay. You sleep in the bed with your spouse, and they sleep in their own bed, and you do what you got to do to make that happen. Show affection in the home and in public. Get some new lingerie. Okay, girl. Oh, okay, Sheila, freak. Is there let him have it any way he wants it on here? That's what I'd like to know. She didn't put that on here. She said be there for him, but she didn't say like let him have it any way that he wants it. So listen, I'm not mad at her. You know, I know a lot of people have been talking a lot of smack about this bitch is crazy. We got too much to do. Listen, I will say this though. Women do a lot, and it is crazy to me how we got to look good, we got to cook, you got to clean, you got to be a freak, you know what I'm saying? You still got to be a lady, you got to be a mom, you got to be a boss, you got to get out there and work. There's a lot that we have to do. You got to get the hair done, the nails done, make sure you're shaved, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that can slip through the cracks in the corners of being a woman. You know, being a woman is some hard work. Don't tell me what I can and cannot do with my body. Do you know how hard it is to be a woman? I'm just saying. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love being a woman. Love it, because I do feel like we are some serious warriors. I mean, damn, we bleed once a month for several days. We don't die. We got cramps in our stomach. We pass watermelons through little orange holes. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are amazing. Take care of kids, take care of the man. We have the intuition. We be feeling things. I mean, women are amazing, and you are doing yourself a huge disservice by not standing behind women. Men, after all, you did come out of a woman. And even for those, what is it called? The platinum gays, even for the platinum gays, all right, now platinum gays, they love women, so I ain't really gotta say nothing to them. But even them, they came out of a woman. So you know what? I feel like what would be dope, okay, speaking of the platinum gays, I think what would be dope is if I feel like a lot of women have been standing up for gay rights. I do feel like we need to also now have the gays also standing up for women's rights. Oh, what? If we could double team these men and these kooky women who are, signed up to the wrong team. I'm sorry. That's right. We're not supposed to say there's no judgment. Nothing's right or wrong. We just having discussions and we're having experiences. But I'm just saying, if we could double up, if we double up on them, you know what I mean? We double up on them. Take care of these women's issues. Racism is going to be out the door next. I will say this. I know that we're taking a long time because things, if you're a parent, you already know your child has to learn from experience. You could tell them, don't touch that. That's not to touch that. Don't touch the stove. It's hot. Don't touch the stove. It's hot. Don't touch the stove. It's hot. They look at you crazy, right? And maybe they won't do it while you're standing there, but one of these days they're going to touch the stove while it's hot, and then they will understand, oh, the stove is hot. Yeah. Humanity, we're pretty much the exact same way. So I do think that everything that we are going through, all this craziness, is going to lead us to a point in time, please let it be soon and within my lifetime, that we realize that we can't be, we wasted, okay, we're not wasting energy, but there are some things that is 1 + 1 = 2. And we need to stop saying 1 + 1 is 11, or 1 + 1 is 2 L's, or 1 + 1 is some Roman numerals. Like, we just making up all kinds of stuff when, the truth of the matter is that there is free will. I mean, I could get into so much, but we're not going to do any of that. We're just gonna stick to the women's issues right here. We're gonna stick to the women's issues. And I'm just going to say this. Thank God I don't live in Alabama.
This is Sanja.
Yo, check it out. It's my girl, Sanja.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, Sanja?
Listen, I wanted to tell you about my book that I wrote, Manifest Beauty. A book based on my life about manifesting. I really used to think I was a witch. I used to think I was crazy. Then I grew up, kept on researching, found out it's the law of attraction. Well, there seems to be like a real life law of attraction thing, and then there's like this theory of just ask, believe, and receive, and you get everything you want. And I noticed it doesn't exactly work like that, but it kind of does. So I just wanted to share with you. It's available on Amazon, Walmart.com, and some other places where books are sold. Check it out. It's called Manifest Beauty. Super simple to read, super quick to read. Includes some exercises on there to show you how your thoughts are really turning into things and how that's actually happening in real life and not just in theory. It's Manifest Beauty, available on Amazon.